Good afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is Newsfeed on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. The Court of Appeals has granted the freeze order sought by the Anti-Money Laundering Council on fugitive pastor Apollo Quiboloy and 9 associates. Bilyonaryo.com obtained a copy of the freeze order and it includes the following: Quiboloy's assets, 10 bank accounts with BDO Unibank and Metrobank, 7 properties in Davao City, Davao del Norte and Rojas City, 5 vehicles including a Toyota Land Cruiser and a Cessna plane. Several assets of Quiboloy's mega church, the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, and its subsidiaries like SMNI Media are also in the freeze order list. In its decision, the CA says KOJC members were sent to the U.S. to solicit donations which were then deposited into the church's Philippine accounts illegally. The AMLAC began investigating Quiboloy's financial activities after a request from the Department of Justice on December 18, 2023. Members of the House's so-called Young Guns bloc hit back at Vice President Sara Duterte this after Duterte criticized the Marcos administration in an open letter to the Muslim community. Duterte said Filipinos deserve better service from the government as she touched on the country's problems in security, healthcare, and infrastructure. Zambales Representative Jefferson Conghun's retort, it was VP Sara who left the country and went on vacation as Typhoon Karina and the southwest monsoon battered the Philippines. He told Duterte she should do her duty as the country's #2 official. La Union Congressman Francisco Paulo Ortega echoes this sentiment. The two Solons also reminded VP Sara of past issues she has yet to address, including the 125 million peso confidential funds her office spent in just 11 days. The Agriculture Department is preparing for the emergency procurement of African swine fever vaccines to address an outbreak of the disease in parts of Batangas. ASF cases have been reported in Lobo, Lian, Rosario, Calatagan, and Lipa City. DA Secretary Francis Chu Laurel urges local authorities to declare a state of emergency so it can respond swiftly and release funds for the purchase of vaccines. He also says the department is coordinating with security forces to set up checkpoints to prevent the further spread of ASF. The Philippines, Australia, Canada, and the United States vow to face common maritime challenges together as their maritime drills in Philippine waters continue. The 2-day multilateral maritime cooperative activity was announced by the defense chiefs of the 4 countries on Wednesday. It involves their naval and air force units. The 4 nations also stood by the landmark 2016 arbitral ruling that rejected China's sweeping claims over the South China Sea. The drills come as the Philippine Navy reported that more than 100 Chinese vessels were operating unchallenged in the West Philippine Sea from July 30 to August 5. The Philippines secures financing agreements with South Korea for various infrastructure projects, including the new Dumaguete Airport. The airport costs more than 17 billion pesos, 13 billion of which will be supported by the Export-Import Bank of Korea. Finance Secretary Ralph Recto says the new gateway will enhance tourism, trade, and economic activities in the province. Recto also says the agreements include funding for the country's Economic Development Promotion Facility, which is aimed at realizing the Marcos administration's Build Better More program. Senator Win Gatchalian is opposing plans to increase toll rates at the country's major expressways. Operators are eyeing a toll hike this month, but Gatchalian says the Toll Regulatory Board should first ensure issues hounding the highways are fixed first before allowing any increase. There have been frequent complaints about faulty RFID systems at toll booths causing heavy traffic. Bangladesh's exiled opposition leader is calling for immediate elections following the ouster of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Tariq Rahman, the acting chairman of Bangladesh Nationalist Party, made the call virtually alongside his mother, former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia. Zia held a rally in Dhaka Wednesday following her release from house arrest. Hasina resigned and fled Bangladesh on Monday following a bloody crackdown on student demonstrations. A terror threat forces the cancellation of global pop superstar Taylor Swift's concert in Vienna. Austria's government confirmed the planned attack at the Ernst Happel Stadium, arresting 2 suspects, one of them a 19-year-old Austrian who reportedly pledged allegiance to the Islamic State. 3 Eras Tour shows were scheduled in Vienna. Authorities were expecting at least 65,000 attendees each night and 15,000 more outside the stadium. Another medal for the Philippines at the Paris Olympics courtesy of Nesthy Petecio. The Filipino boxer took the bronze following a split decision loss to her Polish foe in the women's 57-kilogram division Wednesday. This is the 4th medal for the country after Carlos Yulo's 2 golds in gymnastics and fellow boxer Ira Villegas' bronze in the women's 50-kilogram division. Tennis superstar Rafael Nadal is skipping the U.S. Open due to concerns about his fitness. This is the 3rd Grand Slam tournament that the 38-year-old Nadal will miss this season. The Spaniard says his next event will be the Laver Cup in Berlin next month. Nadal, a 4-time champion at the U.S. Open, also sat out the Australian Open and skipped Wimbledon to prepare for the Paris Games, where he lost to eventual champion Novak Djokovic. The former world number 1 has fallen to 159th in the rankings after struggling with injuries for 2 years. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mike Rodriguez. Stay tuned to BNC for more top-of-the-hour news. Catch us on Free TV Channel 31 and also on our website, bnc.ph. Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top. Good afternoon.